Welcome back to the shop. I'm Deez. This is my workshop. Today's going to be a different kind of video. Today we're going to do an unboxing and review of a product. It's the Anykit Articulating Borescope. This product was sent to me from a representative of Anykit. They didn't ask for much. They just asked that if we send you this product, would you be kind enough to... There's no strings attached. I don't have any... I can say whatever I want about this product. I did not pay for it. I need to let you know that. I want you to know that this was given to me, but it was given to me with no strings attached. I asked them, I made sure to be very clear that I could keep my channel's integrity up and share with my audience a true, open, honest opinion and review of this particular product. So that's going to be the deal. If they don't like it, they don't need to send me any more products. And if anybody in the future doesn't like it, then I won't accept their product. But that's going to be the deal. Along with this channel, what that does is opens up the opportunity to receive some products that I'm interested in, but may not ever want to spend the money on. I want to accept that kind of stuff and review them and share it with everybody to maybe help some of you who are interested in some of these products in making a better informed decision before you buy one of these. So that's going to be the goal of any product reviews that I do on this channel. So this is the first one, the first product review that has been sent my way that I did not pay for, but we are going to review this. Open and honest review, 100%. This is an Anykit Articulating Borescope, 360 degree. This is the model that you need to connect your iPhone or an iPad or an Android phone to it, and the display you can record, capture, save screenshots, things like that onto your phone. Some of the other models that they have their own screen on them, but the articulating part doesn't do 360 degree, it's just back and forth, or the screen resolution is lower. So I went with this one because I thought it would be a higher resolution, and I really like the single-handed nature. You can control this one with one hand. So let's get into it so you can see what I'm talking about. This is how it comes. They shipped it to me in a bigger box. They actually shipped it from Amazon, so not sure how all that works with them. But I got this in a typical Amazon box, and this is the product itself. So let's open this up, see what you get inside the package. It comes with a case, and that's what you get inside their packaging, which is fine. Case is really handy. You want to be able to keep this stuff clean and away. That'll fit nicely in a drawer. So it comes with a case. What else do we get in here? It comes with some cabling, which you would expect. There is a battery in this thing, I'm pretty sure. So one of these would charge that. Comes with some literature. Your Anykit receipt. There's nothing personal on there. But this is a Anykit 360 degree articulating borescope, joystick articulating endoscope, inspection camera with steerable probe for automotive and electronics. That's the long description of what this is. It comes with your standard minimal literature. There's an application for your phone. You can use this to download. It tells you what to search for and look for it. And it just tells you some basic usage for that. Pretty standard. Looks like some screen cleaners for your, well, I guess it would be for the lens. I don't know why else they would send these. This should have some lights and things on it, but we're going to find out. One thing I did send them, I said, has Anykit taken into consideration when, let's take an iPhone for instance. iPhone is in the US, they have these lightning cables, right? It's a proprietary Apple cable The Apple cable, it's just an Apple thing, right? It won't work with any Androids or anything else. Well, the shift to USB-C cable connections is coming, and I believe the iPhone 15 is coming out. It's supposed to have the USB-C connection. So I asked him, I said, you say you have a connection for an Android, which is going to be your old USB micro, and your Lightning. I said, what happens when the iPhone 15 comes out and you need a USB-C? Have you considered that? And their response was, yes, we've considered that. We've included a USB-C, which they have, cable. And that is supposed to work on the newer phones. I'm sure the newer Androids probably use them too. We'll see. I don't know. I might have an iPad or something that actually uses this connection. We'll find out. But at any rate, it comes with 4 cables. One is your iPhone Lightning cable. One is your Android micro, or USB micro for a micro connection, Android tablet or something. And then your USB-C cable. This one is another USB-C cable. It's a little longer. I'm going to assume that's for charging the thing. Let's take a look at this. Anyway, here's your cables. Very short, but I think it's so you can mount them to the device. So this one is a bit longer. Yeah, it's USB-C. So I'm guessing this is to charge the thing. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. So, what else do we get? Here's the package. It's got a molded case. We have a Velcro strap. This must be for mounting your phone. It even has a leveling system on there. That's interesting. Kind of trying to think, why would that be so important to level this if you're holding this thing? Not sure. Maybe we'll figure that out. And then you get the borescope itself, endoscope borescope. So that's what you get. It's a decent length. I think it's a meter, 1 meter cable. It appears to be. So I'd like to see. Let's see this thing in action here. So we'll get this case out of the way. Looks like there's a cover over the lens, over the camera end. That makes sense. Protect that, I guess. Get that off of there. There we go. And this is the single-handed use that I was talking about. The others had like a wheel and a dial where you could control the borescope portion. This one has a single thumb joystick, so with one hand you can control where this thing goes. I could see if you're trying to hold something with one hand, use this thing and get it where you need it to be. You can use the other hand to manipulate where that goes. So anyway, seems like a pretty cool feature. It's plastic, you know, it's kind of what you'd expect. This one has a little bit thinner of the cable than some of the others. I thought maybe that would be helpful when you're trying to get into maybe a tighter spot. Let's say you need to look inside a wall, drill a small hole, jam that thing in there and move that thing around to see what's inside your wall. So let's hook the phone up here. Well, first let's get this thing on there. This would be to mount a phone. It certainly wouldn't be big enough for an iPad or something that large, but yeah. So this will screw on here. About like that. We get our phone up here. Mount that in there. We will need, so there's 2 USB ports. One is your symbol, that's your USB connection, and the other has your power symbol. So this would be your charging side. So this would be the side we need for the phone. Let's get out the iPhone cable for this. See if we can get it in there. There we go. And there we go. So that's what this thing will look like. So if you got one hand here, you can manipulate this thing around and see what's going on. One thing I need to do is download the software. Again, that's inside this documentation that came with it, and it's called USBC. I'm going to go ahead and download that, and I'll bring you right back. All right, we've got that software downloaded. When you're running it, it's searching for the Anykit device. This is the software. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on. This appears to be the power button. Let's hold this. You just push it once, it doesn't open. Let's hold it in. All right. Ooh, that's bright. Well, we're upside down. Let's see if we can't manipulate this to where it's not upside down. There we go. So hopefully you can see that. Let's so it's vertical right now. Let's see, here's a button. There we go. Still upside down. I wonder how, if you can twist or rotate that. Bear with me. We're learning together. Hopefully you can see that. There. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you imagine if you're inside an engine compartment or something. That's not too bad. There is a light on the camera. You can see that. Let's see. I don't know if we can turn that off. That looks like a light. That's why I'm wondering, what's this button? Okay, so there's a trigger that takes a picture. So let's say you're down inside, again with the single-handed manipulation. I've got my single hand on this side and I want to take a picture. I can just push that button and it snaps a shot of that. The other thing, it does have a video option. So let's say we want to video and we want to save it and play it back later. There we go. We got some video going. So as you're snaking around trying to see what's going on, back behind stuff, what's down there, what's underneath here. Of course, we're upside down again. Let's turn that back over. But you kind of get the idea. And then let's say, oh, I can almost see what I need. Let's try to do this where you can see. Let's move that around. Let's go on up, move it over, or over that way. Seems to work pretty well. The quality is not too bad with decent lighting. Again, single-handed operation, that's pretty handy. What happens if I use the trigger in video mode? What happens? Okay, the video, it stops the video recording, but it did just switch back to picture mode. Yeah, so you can also use these buttons up here. Anyway, it does seem to work pretty well. I don't know, can you turn off the LED? Oh, there we go. So just a single press of, you should be able to see that, a single press of this power button will turn your LEDs on, switches them to dimmer, dimmer, and then off. I think there's three or four modes. So you got super bright, and then a few modes in between. So if you don't need the LED, you can turn that off. If you do, I imagine if you're down inside an engine, you're going to want to have those LEDs. So at any rate, that's what's inside. Here's the application. You've got temperature. Well, it's in Celsius. We're in the US. Let's check that out. So video is going to be an MPEG. You got a frame rate. You can't really change anything there. It's really not a whole lot here in settings. That's just information. You can't even change that stuff. Anyway, interesting. There's not really much to change on the settings, I'll tell you that. But there is an orientation where you can change that back and forth depending on what orientation you have your screen. The quality is not too bad. Of course, it's upside down again, but that's with no light, but that's not too bad. You can get in pretty close and still have a decent resolution. So that's pretty handy. Yeah. So I'm almost touching that ruler. So that's pretty decent close-up quality, which makes sense because if you're going to be using this in a tight space, you need to be able to have it focus. At any rate, that's the initial unboxing and review. I'll turn that thing off and get my phone out of there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do some tests around the house. Tests in the engine compartments in some of my vehicles. Tests, scenarios where you might use this thing around the home. I'm going to record that process, capture some of that video, and I'm going to tack it onto the inside this video as well, so you can see the quality of what you get recorded and captured through this device. So hopefully you're finding this interesting. We'll get on to the tests and we'll be right back. All right, let's test out this borescope. Right now it is, let's flip that. So here's what we have. Here's the borescope. There's the camera. As you can see, it's really not bad. There's a light on it. Again, if we move that around, you can see the light. Turn that on. Each press of the button dims it, and then it turns it off. So you don't need it for certain things. But let's say we wanted to see what was going on down in here, and I didn't want to actually take the cover off. Well, that's obviously dark. There we go. So this is performance on this camera. Let me turn off this overhead light. They're getting a glare. So there you go. So now we can look. There's the gears. There's my feed screw. There's up inside the head. You can see my potentiometer. You can see the display board. And you can even fish this thing wherever you need it. It's actually pretty good quality. And then let's say you want to, you know what, I need a picture of that. Or I want to know what's on the back side of this potentiometer. What's the markings on it? Maybe, might be kind of hard, but There we go. Somebody was asking me about that. So let's see if we can't snake that up there. A little hard to get fished up there the way you want it, but need to bring it up there. But you get the point, right? You can really see what you're looking for. So anyway, take a picture. You can also record video. So let's say you're trying to capture, so there's the markings on that potentiometer. You don't have to take it apart. Again, this isn't practice. It's easy enough to take the front off, but this will just show you kind of the things you can do. And you can pull that back out of there. You can look down, if you ever needed to, down inside your spindle bore. Check it out. Make sure it's good. A little bit of rusting. Could be cleaned up a bit. That is not the greatest turning in there, boring, but I guess it doesn't need to be. So based off of that, this would be the taper back on this side. Boy, it's pretty rough. For that to be a taper, a usable taper, Morse taper 5, that is very rough. Anyway, hopefully you get an idea there. So that's ways you can use it for, you know, your lathe. Let's move on to something else. All right, so let's say you wanted to check something in your engine bay. It's a little dark, forgive me for that. This is just a proof of concept. But, you know, this thing, if you really got into rebuilding machines, engines and things like that, you can check your bores. But, again, here's the borescope. With one hand, you can actually articulate it. Here. So let's say you need to get down there and check, you know, check for a leak. You got a problem. You can use this one hand, reach down in there, and you're like, oh, there's that bolt, it's loose. And then there's a trigger, I can take a snapshot of that. And now it saved that picture. Again, pretty handy, and the quality, I'm quite impressed with that. All right, let's say I needed that number. Now I got it. So again, you can snake this thing down where you need to see what's going on and try to discover what kind of problems you might be having or what you're looking for down in these engine compartments. Of course, that's what a lot of people use these for, but let's move on to another, something else. How many of you have registers in the floor? Let's say you need to see what's going on in the registry. You can't get it out. You can look down in there, quite gross. You can turn the corner. You can see down in there. Maybe there's $1 billion down there and you don't know it. Of course, I can get mine out. Let's take this off. And you can snake this down there and see what's going on. Again, one-handed operation. And that light is very nice. And you can see if there's anything down there. Looked like there was something red down there. There. Maybe we can find out what that is. Look at that. I didn't know that was in there. That is a Nerf, a little Nerf dart. Well, how about that? So, again, you never know what you're going to find in something like that. But that's a Nerf, one of those little Nerf discs for a Nerf gun from the kids. How about that? I don't know if I can reach that. Let's see. Didn't know that was in there. How about that? So you can get into places that you never would. I wouldn't know that was in there. So you can find things. Let's say you drop something down there. You can see how far it is, what's going on. Let's see if we can find one more example, and then we'll close this review out. It's very dark in this closet, but I have a hole in the wall. This is the example that I'm most excited about in my home. If you can see, let's go ahead and record that video, and I'll include that. So as you can see, we've got a wire coming out of this wall for a doorbell, and I want to know what's behind that wall because I need to drill a hole, and I don't want to hit a power wire or something like that. So you can actually take this thing, you could drill small holes and see what is going on. It's an exterior wall, but you can see what's going on inside your walls. So there's a power outlet, there's a wire. This is the thing I'm personally most excited about with this endoscope. You can get into places, you can see what's going on without cutting the wall open. And then you can find what you're looking for. I've been looking for that box. You can take a picture. So there's the final example that I wanted to show you, and let's go through that again, make sure you were on film. Again, you can look around. I'll insert this clip as well, and then you can pull that thing out of there, and there we go. So let's do a summary, and I'll give you my thoughts. I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this Anykit Articulating Borescope. It comes with a cleaner too, so you can clean off your camera end when it's done. Overall, the one-handed design of this and the quality, I think, are very good. It's pretty easy to use. It would be nice if it had its own camera or display, but I also don't mind using my phone either, because then you can capture your images, store your photos, and send them an email or save them, download, whatever you need to do. The construction's pretty flimsy, but I don't know, does it need to be strong? It doesn't need to be made out of steel or anything like that. I don't think so. The one-handed design is really convenient. It's got a trigger so you can start and stop and take your snapshots, start your video, stop your video. It has a few, I think 3 different brightnesses. That way if you're washing out the image, you can turn it down a little bit or turn it off if you don't need it. The articulation works very well. The only thing that would be nice, and I don't know, there isn't one, would be a way to, if they had a way on here where you could twist the knob to center it, to make it right sized for while you're viewing. Oftentimes as you're moving this thing around, it's upside down or at an angle, and you got to kind of twist it a little bit and turn it to get it right size, because the human mind gets confused if you're looking. We're not used to seeing things upside down, and it would be nice if they had an ability with the single-handed control to right size the camera to make it upright. Other than that, overall, I think this product's pretty good. I think it's a little overpriced in my opinion, but it also works very well. If you find yourself needing something like this often, I can't say I wouldn't recommend it. Again, this is an Anykit 360-degree articulating borescope from Anykit, and I believe they're part of, this is a model AN150, and yeah, there's not a whole lot more to say about it. It's one thing I really like about it is being able to view inside, in your home, in your walls, things like that. I do a lot of home projects and things around the house, if I'm hanging pictures or running electricity, electrical wire or something. I want to know what's in that wall. Is there a water line, a pipe? You don't want to screw through that stuff. If you're doing any major projects, you can drill a small hole, just enough for your camera, and you can put that in there and you can see what's inside that wall. That's easy to patch. Going through a water line, that's not easy to patch. Just saying. So overall, the case is adequate. Everything is adequate on it. The camera mount is actually clever and fine. It works great. Not sure what the point of having that self-leveling is. If any of you know, let me know. It doesn't say anything in the manual about that. It maybe online there's some more, but it doesn't say why it's got that. The case is nice. Everything fits in here. Maybe. You know, considering what it is, you got to kind of sneak this thing around to put it away. But having its own case for everything to be kind of protected, I think that's for a device like this, that's a really good idea. Keeps dirt and debris. If you're throwing it in a drawer with other devices, you're not going to, you know, bang it around and create additional damage to it. Get that in there. Secure it. It's got a Velcro strap. Got a place for your cords. Place for the manual. And it's not a huge case, you know, it's not unruly. So you can zip that up, put that in a drawer, get it out of the way. Overall, I like it. This was a promotional item. They gave it to me to review Dee's style. I'm giving you my honest review of it. I will do promotional items and review them if they're offered to me, and I think the company is reputable and I like their relationship. But I will be open and upfront about every review that I ever do, and honest with how I obtained that particular product. As it stands, this is my first official promotional product, and I was happy to give it a shot. That's part of the YouTube side of things that I wanted to be able to do. Get some free products in order to test them and share my thoughts with everybody out there watching. So, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to edit this down, so hopefully it's makes a little more sense, but I hope it gave you enough examples where you liked what you saw. And if you have any questions, shoot them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer about what this is. You can get these on Amazon. Again, I make no money off of any of this stuff. The only thing I got was the Articulating Borescope to review. That's it. So I'll use this in upcoming videos as I'm working on projects. I'll use it around the house. This is going to come in really handy. I'm glad to have it. But if you find yourself needing one, you might give these guys a look up. Anykit. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you on the next one.